Meet Emma, queen of contracts and color-coded stationery. Emma Hartley lived for order. Her desk, spotless. Her day, scheduled to the minute. Her apartment, so tidy it would make Marie Kondo proud. Emma thrived on structure, logic, and the comforting predictability of contract law. She knew every clause, every subsection, every legal loophole. Her world was a perfectly organized file cabinet, and she, the meticulous keeper of its contents. Emma's colleagues at the prestigious law firm, Miller and Blackwood, both admired and feared her precision. She could spot a typo in a 50-page contract faster than anyone else could brew a cup of coffee. Her attention to detail was legendary, her focus unwavering. Some might call her a control freak. Emma preferred the term detail-oriented. One thing was certain, Emma Hartley knew exactly what she wanted, and she always got it. In writing, of course. Life held no surprises for Emma, and that's precisely how she liked it. Or so she thought, until a certain street artist with a penchant for bright colors and impulsive decisions quite literally splashed into her perfectly ordered world. Enter Ryan, the artist who colored outside the lines. Ryan Brooks was a whirlwind of creativity. He saw canvases in blank walls, inspiration in everyday chaos, and beauty in the unexpected. Rules, schedules, those were for museums, not for artists. Ryan lived life on his own terms, guided by his intuition and fueled by an endless supply of coffee and paint fumes. His art, a vibrant explosion of color and abstract forms, was slowly but surely gaining recognition in the city's underground art scene. Ryan's murals, often appearing overnight in unexpected places, had a way of shaking people out of their routines. He believed art should be accessible, surprising, and above all, a reflection of the soul. His bohemian lifestyle was a stark contrast to Emma's structured existence. Ryan's apartment was a glorious mess of paintbrushes, canvases, and half-finished sketches. His days were ruled by inspiration, not appointments. He was impulsive, spontaneous, and completely comfortable with chaos. Little did he know his free-spirited ways were about to collide head-on with the epitome of order and precision. When spray paint met legal brief, a clash of worlds. It was a Tuesday, a perfectly ordinary Tuesday, at least for Emma. She arrived at Miller and Blackwood precisely at 8 a.m., her briefcase in hand and a to-do list longer than her arm. As she stepped through the grand entrance, her sharp eyes immediately noticed something was amiss. Dread crept up her spine, cold and unwelcome. Someone had vandalized the firm's pristine white wall, and not just any vandalism. This was a full-blown mural, a riot of neon colors and abstract shapes. It was bold, it was daring, and it was most definitely not authorized. Emma's meticulously organized world tilted on its axis. The culprit? None other than Ryan Brooks, who stood back, admiring his handiwork with a satisfied grin. He hadn't meant to target a law firm, of course. He'd simply seen a blank canvas begging for a splash of color. But as fate would have it, Emma's perfectly ordered life was about to become his latest masterpiece. A deal struck. Order for art, art for order. You're going to pay for this. Emma's voice, though quiet, held the force of a gavel. Ryan turned, startled. He hadn't expected an audience, let alone one so intimidating. She stood there, all sleek bob and tailored suit, a legal storm cloud in a designer dress. He tried to explain. It wasn't vandalism, it was art. She countered with a litany of legal terms: property damage, unauthorized alteration, depreciation of property value. Ryan, who barely understood his own lease agreement, was completely out of his depth. Seeing his bewilderment, Emma, ever the pragmatist, proposed a deal. She would help him organize his life, his finances, his schedule, his upcoming art exhibition, and in return, he would transform the vandalism into a masterpiece that would make Miller and Blackwood the envy of the city. Ryan, desperate to avoid a lawsuit, reluctantly agreed,